Gosh, okay, you guys, this is not a drill. The Americans are gone. They're gone. If you have an American account, you are not even able to open the app.
It's really not fair that, like, they're banning TikTok.
Thanks for the memories, TikTok. It was fun while it lasted.
It is final, it is saddening, but it's a reality that you have to embrace. TikTok is gone in the United States. What else to do? Prior to the ban, TikTokers had mobilized themselves to carry a TikTok burial as a way to remember the memories that they have made on this beautiful app. For Americans, this was their freedom. This was where they had to express themselves, especially for Black Americans whose voices were always silenced. They spoke about real issues, and that's the reason why I had to take TikTok seriously, because we are getting first-hand information. Looking at people speaking on how they couldn't afford their medical bill, coming on the internet crying, like first-hand information without any filter from the news, you know. We could get first-hand information from here. Good things don't last, they say. This is so sad for Americans. And how are they affected by this ban of TikTok? Are Americans the only people affected by the ban of TikTok in their country? Are, like, how many countries were using TikTok at this point? And how many creators were followed by Americans? So if you're not an American and you think that you're not affected by this, just wait. When everything about Americans will disappear from the system, then you will understand that it's also your issue. So yeah, we'll be unpacking a few things to do with this banning of TikTok in this video. So I will call your attention to this, and also like the video.
Regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our services in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. A couple things with this. I think it's a really good sign that it says temporarily unavailable. My guess is the app will go dark for tomorrow, and then when Trump gets into office on Monday and he adds the 90-day extension, the app will be reinstated. Another good sign is this part. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. As you know, the CEO of TikTok is in talks with Donald Trump. He's been invited to the inauguration on Monday, prime seating. I think something's going down. What that is, we don't know.
I am not okay. I am not okay. I'm filming the bread recipe so it can be posted tonight. And it's going to be a little messy because I love you guys so much. Oh.
And another thing, since I'm already having a mental breakdown on the internet, can you imagine being a billionaire and not being like a superhero and instead being a villain? You have enough money to fix every single one of the world's problems and people fucking hate you.
TikTok is not being banned for the reasons they're saying they're banning it. Oh, it's about data and security. Well, then a hell of a lot of their apps would be banned too right now. But obviously that's not the fucking case. It's about the fact that millions of Americans are on TikTok, and we've literally come together and we've used our voices. So this is about silencing us. A bunch of y'all are going on rednote, xiaohongshu, whatever you want to call it. Shit, y'all want to learn some Mandarin? I can teach y'all some Mandarin. But whatever it is, we cannot disband.
The real reason that TikTok is being banned is because a rich white American man does not own TikTok.
America. I don't even have 1,000 followers. And my net worth is negative, in case you wanted to know. And thanks to the power of the TikTok algorithm, millions of people could still watch this video today. That's a level of power that the wealthy elite in this country don't want tiny little people like me to have. Because there are 150 million Americans on TikTok. And you already know this, but when people are able to share information freely, to share their ideas and experiences freely, we start to realize that we're not alone. We start to realize that we're not the only ones suffering from injustices. And we can start to decide together that we're not going to take it anymore. We can start to revolt. We can start to organize things like quiet quitting. We can inspire people to change the status quo, to change the system. And that is something that the wealthy elite in this country are terrified of. They want to control the narrative. They want to control the spread of information in the United States. And as we know, they control the US government through lobbyists.
Everyone's talking about the TikTok ban, but nobody's talking about how fucking embarrassing it is to be an American right now. I feel like no one has really sat and taken the time to conceptualize that a bunch of expired retirement home patients all gathered in a room can never agree. But when it comes to banning the fucking Renegade app is the one time that they decide to like unite forces and come together. You know, when the homelessness rates are going up, people can't even freaking feed their kids. The government's just like, okay, maybe later. But when it comes to fucking TikTok, are you kidding me? Like massive genocides. They're like, okay, that's a tomorrow problem. But they can push this shit through faster than EDP went to the donut shop. And my favorite thing in the entire big wide world is when boomers are like, China's stealing all your information. As a freaking meta, the #1 information stealer out there is like keeping them safe or something. Like the same boomers that do that will fill out like the fucking 40 question Facebook questionnaires about like their favorite color and their maiden name and how many kids they have and shit. If you think this genuinely has anything to do with national security, you are sadly mistaken. We claim to be a democracy, but the one thing that the US government loves is being in control. And that's one thing that they cannot tolerate not having. Because people are finally finding a way to beat the system. People are finding a way to make a living without paying thousands and thousands of dollars of student loans and being in debt for the rest of their life. People are becoming successful outside of their college 9-to-5 work plan, which literally 99% of the people I know who graduated college cannot even find a job, mind you, and when they do, it doesn't even pay enough to survive on. They want their cut. They've wanted their cut for like 5 years now. But most importantly, all they want is control. It's getting to the point where like the amendments mean nothing. Like the government can take away a literal app on our phones and we're supposed to believe we're free? There's like grown men on the dark web, like making red rooms, like live streaming actual violent crimes, and we're taking away the clock app. No, like this whole situation is actually embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed to be an American.
I just want to remind everyone that all 3 branches of the US government got together to ban TikTok before they have done a goddamn thing about school shootings. So I've gathered a few facts that I want to share with everyone about school shootings and about TikTok. TikTok was first introduced, I did write a couple things down, don't judge. TikTok was first introduced in the United States in 2016. So I went back and there have been 1,695 school shootings from 2016 to present day. So from when TikTok was introduced into the United States to present day, there have been 1,695 school shootings. I couldn't find an exact number on the amount of people who lost their lives in school shootings and the amount of victims there were per year, but I did find out in 2024 alone, 38 people died in school shootings and 116 people were physically victims. I use the word physical because I believe that there are thousands and thousands of more victims out there emotionally victimized from these horrible, horrible incidences. But yes, the government, quite literally, legislative, the executive, and the judicial branches of the government got together to ban TikTok before they tried to do a goddamn thing about the 1,695 school shootings that have occurred in this country since the TikTok app was introduced in 2016.
The TikTok ban. Why just the US? Why just the US alone as the sole nation that's considering this? You know, sometimes America is so insular, it blows my mind that people don't look at things in a wider context. This TikTok ban is being considered in the US only. Why is that? If it were a technological threat, then surely the rest of the Five Eyes nations, the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, would all also feel the security risk to their citizens and also be considering such a ban, but they're not. There's no talk of it in any of these other countries. Similarly, in Europe, in the EU has shown no interest or concern whatsoever in TikTok. I have not seen that anywhere. So it's just the US. And if it were a technological threat to a nation or a threat to citizenry per se, or democracy per se, or however you want to phrase it, then it would also be a concern for like-minded Western countries, but it is not. There is none of this in other countries. Why? So then we have to think about what authoritarian states do when they can't control narratives in a population. And if you look at TikTok, it is, not just in the States, but in the UK and in Europe, increasingly the number one news channel for 18 to 24-year-olds. It's where they get a lot of news from. So what is it uniquely about America whereby the 18 to 24-year-olds, the younger generations, are not controllable in the way that mainstream media, legacy media is? When you answer that, you get a lot closer to what's going on here. But make no mistake, for all the discussions about technological state threat, answer the question why it is not a threat for any of the US's allies, and it is a threat only in the US. That's what needs to be addressed. And then you're talking about societal dynamics, and you're talking about repression. And you have to ask why repression is needed in this country, the US, and not in any of America's allies.
And to the US government, I'm never forgiving you for this. And I'm never gonna trust you ever again, because you just, like that, took away millions of people's income and livelihood. And who does that? So I'm never trusting you ever again with anything.
So I'm starting to give up hope that there's going to be a Hail Mary moment at the end of this that's going to save this app.
I feel so dumb coming on the internet and crying about an app, but the fact is that this has been a sense of community for me for years now, and it got me through really, really hard times in my life. The pandemic, losing my job, all of that. Getting divorced, like all of this crap that's happened to me in the last 5 years since I've been on here. Hours and hours and hours of time I put into creating stuff for this platform. And I'm not the biggest creator on here. Like, I'm not like, I don't have 3 million followers or 10 million followers, but I do have a platform. It's the biggest platform I have. And I worked really hard to make it. On top of that, it's been a source of income for me for going on 3 years now. First, it was just a little bit, but then it got to be more. I'm not like rich off of it, but it has significantly helped my income every month. Hi, Halloumi. And it's been consistent enough that like I've been able to rely on it. So like on top of being just sad that I'm losing my creative outlet and my platform, I'm like worried about like what I'm gonna do financially. And I know like I'll figure it out. Like I've had to do that a million times in my life. Like I'm an artist, I've had to figure it out a million times, but it just like, it sucks that I have to, or that any of us have to. It's so unfair. This is so much more than just an app. Like this is really truly a sense of community that there is nowhere else on the internet. And like, yes, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on rednote now, I'm on Lemonade. I don't even know what that is, but I have 13,000 followers on there. I've literally only logged in twice. But I know that none of it's gonna be the same. I know none of it's gonna be the same. So I guess if this goes away, and for those of you that I don't see on the other apps, like wanna say like thank you to the community that I've had, my little community. I had such a small little corner of TikTok, but it was really beautiful. And I really appreciate all of you guys. All the people that comment on all my videos, even when my views were down and I wasn't getting views, people that would comment. And I always saw you, the same people. I know who you guys all are, and I love you all so much. And I'm so appreciative for the time that we've had. And I can't believe I'm crying like this on the internet. It feels like the pandemic. I haven't done this since then. But it feels like I'm losing like a really good friend. And that sucks.
So I'm a full-time TikToker who just signed a lease on a 3-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, and now TikTok's gonna be banned and all my income's gonna be gone the day after my lease starts. So let's talk about what's gonna happen and what's gonna happen to a lot of creators who are in a similar position. First, before I talk about my lease, did you know that there are over 7 million US businesses on TikTok, and they're gonna lose over $300 million in revenue immediately after TikTok is gone? These are your neighbors. These are not influencers. These are not people in LA. These are your neighbors trying to start something small. Your friend that sells lashes. Your friend that's trying to start a candle company. It's those people. Now, what's going to happen to me? Because also this lease that I live in now is going to overlap with that one. So I'm going to be paying 2 leases for a little bit just because that's the best way it could work out. And the cheapest moving quote I've gotten was $2,200. And I have a 2025 car that I just bought. So like, what am I going to do, right? Well, I'm probably going to lose everything. They're probably going to have to seize my assets. Like they might take the... Girl, please. None of that's going to happen. There's going to be a major shift, likely from what I'm seeing, from TikTok to Meta platforms. And they're already rolling out new monetization programs to help adjust with this, and a bunch of TikTok creators that will have to shuffle over there. And yes, that includes people like me, and also people like stay-at-home moms, single fathers that are using TikTok as supplemental income. Now, should I be scared about my situation specifically because I'm putting a lot of money on the line and risking everything? Yes, but I'm just not. I don't know. I feel something on my chest, just like an unwavering sense of peace through all of this, that no matter what happens, even if it does get bad, even if I do fall through on this lease because my income will be gone in one day, I feel like it's going to be fine. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm capable, and so many of us on here are on here because we are that, including you, the viewer. Like, I feel like all of us will be okay in this, truly, and maybe I'm crazy for saying that. With almost 250,000 followers on TikTok and not even 10K on any other platform, yeah, it will hit me hard, but I feel I'll be okay. So if you want to watch clearance deals, if you want to know how to save money, if you want to know the best hidden gems in different areas, and you want to see just general exploring blogs, hauls, go ahead and go to my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The users are on the screen. They're all linked in my bio as well. That'll be a little easier. And if you leave a follow on there, it'll be greatly appreciated. It definitely won't give me enough like money to where I'll be okay through this, but I'm gonna figure it out, guys. I promise you. And lastly, if this is the last week that I'm on here with you guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate how you guys have changed my life and the lives of so many people around me, how we've poured back into communities. We gave so much for recently Hurricane Helene, Cajun Navy, and even the Palisade fires. I just was able to donate a good chunk of money to the Palisade Humane Society. So I'm just very grateful for all of y'all. And
so this is it. This is officially it. It's the end of an era. This has been a really beautiful experience, and I'm so grateful to have been able to share it with all, 163,000 of you guys. I'd never thought in a million years that 163,000 people would ever find me interesting enough to sit down and to watch and to engage with and to build community with. I never in my wildest dreams did I think that this was something that I was going to be able to do. And it's all thanks to the people who have watched my stuff, who have shared my stuff, who interacted with my stuff. And I'm not going to say too much because I know for a fact that I will cry and I will ruin my makeup for this concert, but I just wanted to say thank you. I know that we're all going to be very sad when we wake up tomorrow morning and we cannot, get on this app and talk to one another, but this has been such a special experience that I will never forget. And I wish the rest of you all the best of luck in your job searches, in my job search now. I wish you all the best of luck in your endeavors as far as, content creation, whether that's, back on, IG with Meta, or, if you decided to transfer over to Rednote, Blue Sky, fan base, wherever. And, my hope that this is not, simply a goodbye, but more along the lines of a I'll see you later. So that is where I'm going to leave this video. I love you guys all so much, every last one of you, and yeah, I guess I'll see y'all later.
Let me be so for real for a second. If you are someone that is enjoying the downfall of this app for the pure satisfaction of watching content creators lose money, if you're one of those losers that are posting memes of like content creators working in McDonald's because this app is going to be going away, or saying things like serves them right, now they'll have to get a real job, you are one of the lowest, disgusting, despicable people in this country. Trust and believe you are a bigger threat to this country than this app. I'm in a fortunate position, have a following on IG. Make sure if you're not already, you're following me there. But there are a lot of people who only have this. Good people who are gonna be fucked. I've seen stories of people on this app who could not put food on the table until they discovered TikTok, and they produced long-form content where they were able to make money directly on this platform, talking into the camera like I'm doing right now. They could do it right from home when they were taking care of their kids, or they can do it after their 9 to 5. This app has saved people's lives. It's allowed people to be financially independent for the first time, and if you don't understand that, you're the problem.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in a...
No, I was not sad about TikTok maybe getting banned until now. Some of those TikToks were from the pandemic. I feel like this app got us through the pandemic. It also started the career that I have now. Like, I started on TikTok. It's sad. I don't like it.
TikTok getting banned in the US is going to affect me in the UK. It is, and I hadn't even realised till now. At first I was just like, oh, that's a shame. Those guys, they're losing TikTok. Oh well, we're not. And now I know that it's going to affect me. I'm taking it a little bit more seriously. No, I was taking it seriously, and I don't.
I'm going to miss the Americans. This sucks. This is a big chunk of my audience. On my main account, I have 30,000 followers that are American, and they're all just going to disappear. This sucks. And I feel like my sense of humor appeals to America. It just sucks, man. I gotta miss you guys. You crazy.
I'm sorry, I love Americans, because you're telling me the American government didn't want you guys to be on an app predominantly owned by a man that's a Chinese citizen living in Singapore. Because the algorithm, right? The algorithm. And the data protection, supposedly.
Did the US government forget our founding principles? We are a nation built on spite! The founding fathers keep being portrayed as these like austere figures of history when they were drunk 20-somethings giving the fuck you to their authority figures. We are just following in our nation's footsteps. The US government really said that they were going to try and take away the one place that we have, where we can organize, we can rally, and we can get together away from the immediate control of the US government and the tech bros that control them. And our response was that we were going to all mass move over to an app that's literally named after Mao Zedong's essays. Like, there's no dancing around it. We're giving our information directly to the Chinese government now. The communists just have our information directly because of you guys, because of what you did. TikTok was secure. TikTok US is secure. They don't have access to our shit, so fuck you guys. We're going over to Chinese TikTok. And it's been great. It's so nice over there. I'm learning Mandarin. I'm getting to meet all of these lovely people from around the world. Everyone's so excited that we're there. We're all so excited to be there. We have it our half of the day. They have it their half of the day. Everyone wins. Like, even if TikTok is saved, I'm keeping rednote. This slaps. Anyway, catch me on rednote. I'm at Abigail's.
So you guys, instead of going to the other apps ran by American citizens, the ones that they want you to go to, you guys found out about rednote. You guys found out about rednote, which is, I think, the second most popular download right now on the American App Store. You guys are flooding rednote, the other Chinese app. There's many Chinese apps, but the other Chinese app that you can go to. That's a whole nother level of petty, frankly, but
你好，你好，我又来了。
你好，
你好，小
我叫英国小谢。
你好，我来自 America。
你好，兄弟，我的名字的好的。
你好。
你好，很高兴认识你，我叫梅丽莎，我来。
Hey, y'all want to send a message to him about banning TikTok? How about we all just delete Facebook off our phones? That's all we gotta do. Just delete Facebook off our phones and show them that we ain't playing. Cause they want to leave us with these toxic negative apps when we had a beneficial app that was very informative and helping a lot of people out. So they want to take that away, but leave us with the trash. All we gotta do is just delete Facebook. They can see how many people deleted Facebook off their phones. Let's beat them to the punch, and we'll see it pop up on TikTok before that day. Just uninstall it.
You might have a point, because why did Facebook go ahead and create themselves a TikTok today, even though they're supposed to be ops? And this platform, well, at least the American version, is supposed to get shut down in what, T-minus 4 hours and 17 minutes from now?
The British people came to rednote with us. Bitch,
TikTok is still working for you, ho.
A couple hours ago, I received a message from journalists in China asking me why there are so many Americans flocking to rednote. We have caused such a ruckus, made such a large impact not only on their social media, but their people and their society in general, that they're asking us, they're asking me, why are so many Americans coming to rednote? And these are just one of the first of many messages, and they're giving me their address and emails and so on. And they're actually downright curious on why we are coming to rednote. So to the journalists in China that is interested about this information, here you go. And the reason why is because our US government sucks. They are trying to fully take away our communication and our rights and our freedom of speech entirely. TikTok was the one app that they couldn't control through social media or anything else, so that way they could paint a narrative of how they see fit. The US government is trying to paint a picture that China is trying to steal our data, but we all knew that's not the case. In fact, we all know that is nothing but a complete lie. The only reason why they want to ban TikTok is because they want to silence our voices entirely. Our government does not care about us. In fact, they never did. All they care about is oppressing us. All they care about is making sure they win in the way that they see fit. All they care about is promoting the rich, filling their own pockets, and making sure they get even richer. Our government is completely anti-China, and they recently passed a bill for $1.6 billion to promote anti-China propaganda. We completely understand that the reason why they want to shut down TikTok is because we can see the world of how it truly is, that the world isn't as hateful or as regretful or as terrifying or evil as they try to make it seem. We also understand that China is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. They try to paint it as this downright evil and communistic country that is just breaking down and terrifying, and they oppress their own people. They are also trying to make it seem that China has no type of freedom whatsoever. We all understand that that's nothing but a lie. Our Supreme Court, our House, our governments, our leaders, they are nothing but cockroaches and leeches. They do not protect the people. They do not protect us. They do not help us. Our own US social medias like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, they all sell our data to other people, to the highest bidder, or to the US government without our permission. They have done this countless times, and our leaders do absolutely nothing about it. Our governments, our leaders, they are nothing but money-hungry, grubbing leeches who wants nothing but power, money, and control over us. There are states, cities, and people that are dying, that are sick, that are burning away, and they do nothing in return. Our insurance companies are rejecting our claims and canceling our insurance policies because they do not want to pay for us because it affects their profits, their stockholders, and their investors. They care about the rich more than they care about their own citizens. And the people of the United States are tired of it. We're done. We're so fucking fed up. We can't do anything physically because if we try to, they will undoubtedly use force. So now, since they want to be so anti-China and think that there's Chinese spies in TikTok, which there aren't, and they want to conjure up all these lies trying to make it seem like China are trying to brainwash American citizens into thinking that the government is bad, which they actually are. They want us censored. They are trying to take away our First Amendment right of freedom of speech. They do not want us to know the truth about who they actually are and what they're actually doing. This has gone on for long enough, and we're done. Hawaii has been burned to the ground. Los Angeles is being burned to the ground. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people homeless because their insurance companies has fucked them. They have abandoned the American people. New York City is being flooded. Florida is getting hit by multiple hurricanes. Texas is slowly being destroyed. Everything is too expensive and Americans cannot afford basic things to live. Our country refuses to give us universal health care even though they spent billions and trillions of dollars on military equipment. That and other things that we do not need, like anti-China propaganda. And they spend loads of money on themselves and not for the people. America is not the greatest country in the world. In fact, it's far from it. This country is corrupted to its core. Yeah, America may seem pretty from wherever you are, but the truth is, this country is slowly destroying itself from the inside because all our leaders care about is what they put in their pockets. They just want power and control. Our wildlife is dying and being burnt to the ground, and thousands of people are dying. There are too much happening in the United States, and all they care about is banning TikTok. Are you kidding me? This is why so many American citizens are flooding to rednote. It's because we cannot rely on our own government. So if they do ban TikTok, we will use rednote as a means of fighting back. But you know what? This has worked out better than we could possibly imagine, because now we are even closer with China because of this than we are with America. And this is something that they did not want to happen. And yet, It did anyway. The US government ended up creating a problem that they did not want to exist, nor did it exist in the first place. But guess what? Now, that problem that they were so afraid of happening has actually happened. This is the American citizens' way of revolutioning. So they have one or two choices. One, they can ban TikTok and we'll just go to rednote instead. Or two, they can stop trying to fucking silence us and let us keep TikTok. It's one or the other. Either way, they're not going to get what they want, and we're going to make damn sure of that. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. This is Onyx. You can find me on rednote and you can find me here. I am gone.
I just downloaded rednote and all I can say is that Instagram is gonna go out real sad. And watch this. 漂亮女孩在哪里? These niggas are light years ahead of us. First thing I see on this fucking app is Luigi content and fine shit throwing fits, bro. I saw a fucking post that said black people are greater than, and it was just a fucking collage of dark-skinned, beautiful people. Mark Zuckerberg was scared of me giving up my data. Bitch, I'm about to give that shit straight to Xi Jinping in a red fucking envelope, nigga. 我讨厌美国. And niggas who get it, get it. And the best part is, I don't even gotta introduce these niggas to communism. The app is literally fucking Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok all fucking squeezed into one, bro. All I'm gonna say to y'all though is come with some fucking respect, because I don't give a fuck if they're speaking Mandarin. Mandarin is the most spoken language in the fucking world. I'm gonna need y'all to lock in. But yeah, y'all.
So I downloaded rednote and I am no longer convinced that we are living in a first world country. Seeing the everyday lives of Chinese people, like obviously certain Chinese people, I'm not saying everybody's lives, but it's just like insanely eye-opening. There's something really remarkable that I have noticed about most of these Chinese people, even older people, like people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they look so much less traumatized than most Americans. Our citizens here are not only like really cold and mean and disconnected and combative, but like you can just see people's problems on their face. You can see that they are exhausted and that they've been brutalized. Now, I don't fully understand Chinese culture at all, and I'm sure it varies a lot. It's a very, very big place. But it's interesting seeing how lighthearted and kind and gentle these people are, especially in comparison to Americans. We just have so much dark energy plaguing this country and plaguing the people, and it's just like, I don't know if we'll ever genuinely know what is happening, like what's happening with our government versus other governments. Is everyone lying to their people? Like, we live in so many layers of deception. Like, I don't know if we'll ever actually know what is happening.
All right, 3, 2, 1. China is the best country in the entire world. I love China so much. First off, Mandarin is amazing. Second off, the Chinese Communist Party, yes, communist, is the best government in the entire world. Most transparent government in the entire world. Third off, Xi Jinping is the fucking GOAT. Number 4, Chairman Mao, also the fucking GOAT. Rest in peace, bro. Number 5, the cuisine is amazing. Number 6, the Great Wall of China is the best tourist destination in the entire world. So much history in China. Number 7, nothing happened in Tiananmen Square. China, I love China so much, especially the Chinese Communist, yes, Communist Party. By the way, I love communism. I love Chinese communism. All right, let's go.
The British are coming. The British are coming. But wait, TikTok is not being banned in the UK. Why? We talk so much shit to each other, but we love each other. They can't live without us.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. You can't post everything that you post on TikTok onto Instagram and YouTube. Not inappropriately, but unhinged, mentally unstable. Like, you can be so satirical, your humor can be so dry, and it finds the right people. That shit does not happen on Instagram and YouTube and whatever else. So that's why I'm pissed off right now.
Because in the club, we all fam, but I just want everyone to just hold on for a second. I know we've all migrated over there. I made an account. I have not posted yet because I wanted to read the terms and condition. Although they were in Mandarin, my assistant translated it for me. So there are a few differences from TikTok to this app that I feel that we need to be aware of. Some of the key differences, they have an irrevocable license. That means that even if you delete your content or leave the platform, they retain the rights to our content indefinitely. Number 2, they can sublicense our content to third parties. So our content could be used by advertisers, international partners, or other entities that we have no control over. Number 2. Number 3, they reserve the right to use personal elements like image, trademarks, and logos. Similar to TikTok, frame it more around content distribution rather than using personal branding for advertisements. So their personal branding, inclusion of branding elements like logos could be a concern for creators posting branded or professional content. Number 4, this is a big one, I think, for me. They can modify, remix, or adapt our content and create derivative works. Opens up a door for content to appear in unexpected forms in places like advertisements or altered versions. TikTok also permits adaptations, but theirs is a little broader with the word derivatives. The 5th thing is that commercial use without compensation clearly states that content can be used for promotional or commercial purposes without compensation, included in marketing campaigns to promote the platform or any other projects. Difference being that they rednote can use it for indefinite commercial use. That word indefinite again. So if you have any original works, any original artwork, photography, anything that can be trademarked, I would maybe do a little bit more research before posting that on this app. But again, do with the information what you will. I decided to print it out and read for myself before I started posting content. I might just watch from the side until we figure out what's going on with TikTok, because there's been some more developments today. It's like a game of ping pong, table tennis, whatever. Anyways, guys, bye.
Hey, TikTok refugees, I'm so overwhelmed by you guys today. This is so cool and crazy. I'm posting this to see if this is real. I'm Chinese. You can ask me anything about China, but you might be in the wrong place, because here is not the Chinese version of TikTok. Here is the Chinese version of Instagram.
So I just found out that rednote does not allow pseudoscience. Like, they specifically state that you cannot post scientific information that is not backed by scientific studies. So I'm excited, and honestly, even if TikTok isn't banned, I might just stay there because I'm liking the vibe so far.
I had to leave the rednote app because I got angry. They are literally living 200 years ahead of us.
That's what it about this video, guys. Allow me to wind up right here. We've got to see a lot. Things are happening, and this is a great awakening for Americans. I never knew that an American could just scream and China is the best country in the world. This is a shift. It's a change. Like, I will be posting videos that summarize a few things that Americans had been talking about for a long time that relate to what is happening right now. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and also support the channel. Goodbye for now. I appreciate you.